Evelyn, and welcome back to my Flosstube channel for the first time in a very long time for my 2022 WIP Parade. Woo! I'm so excited to be back. This is so nice to be able to sit down and film. It is February the 27th. It is like 3:30-ish. It's a very sunny day today for the first time in a long time. There's some blossoms on the tree outside of my window, so maybe it's like actually gonna be spring. And yeah, this is a channel, if you are new here, where I talk about cross stitch and all things crafty. I have a bit of knitting and some crochet whips. I started crocheting, I know, in this video. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back and sticking with me. I know I've been gone for a bit, so I really appreciate you coming back and continuing to support my channel and my stitchy journey. And thanks so much for spending a little bit more stitchy time with me. Hi guys, oh my god, how are you? Hi, I'm back. Yeah, it's been a crazy few months. I know I always feel bad when YouTubers have to like apologize for living life and things and being away, but I do just want to apologize for my kind of absence here on my Flosstube channel. I've still been active over on my Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram, I'll have it on the screen. Evelyn Across the Pond, same as this channel name. I post updates and little like behind the scenes and, you know, in between stuff over there, but it's been a while since I've been on my Flosstube channel. I think my last video was at the end of November, just before Christmas, like season, like December, and yeah, now it's almost March. And essentially the cheat sheet version of where I've been is that my PhD has just gotten really crazy. I'm supposed to be finishing by September, and my supervisor wants me to have a full draft by like May 1st, and so I'm just working a lot and I'm just really busy, and so I haven't had the time to sit down and film and edit and everything. So that's why I've been away, but I'm back now, and unfortunately I think it probably will be a little bit more inconsistent with my upload schedule for the foreseeable until I've handed in, and then I can go back a bit more to my like normal life and hopefully, you know, go back to more like monthly uploads, like regular monthly uploads, if not even go back to my bi-weekly schedule, which is what I had when I started my channel. So we shall see, but that's where I've been. There's not really like a story, you know, nothing bad happened. I've just been really busy. In terms of the wedding, we have been going along with the planning for that. We've, you know, figured out a few more things here and there. I've gotten some accessories for my dress and shoes and that kind of thing. Just little things until we get closer, and then we'll finish up like the bigger tasks left to do, because we still are about like a year and a half out, so we have plenty of time. I just like to look at things and be like, ooh, that's cute, and then order it. That's where I'm currently at with that. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot else to report on the personal life front. That's basically it. I wish it was a bit more exciting. I did want to say that while I've been gone, my 1-year Flosstube anniversary passed. So I cannot believe that it has been a year since I've been on Flosstube. And I also cannot believe the way that this channel has grown in the last year. And I just never could have imagined that so many people would be interested in seeing the things that I'm passionate about and the things that I make. And so it just means the world to me that I've not only found people who are interested in that, but that you all have let me be a part of your community, and that I've gotten to share this with you and you share with me, and it's just been amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it, and it just means the world to me, especially because this community over the past few years really has changed my life. And I think during the past 2.5 years and all of the darkness and pain and sadness and grief that everyone has experienced over the last 2 years and is continuing to experience every day, with the situation going on in Ukraine right now and with the continuation of the coronavirus pandemic, I really believe that this community has been a source of light for me and so many of us. And so I cannot thank you enough for bringing this into my life and bringing cross-stitching back into my life. So thank you. And if anyone knows of any reputable resources that we could be donating to right now to help our fellow stitchers in Ukraine, and just our fellow humans in Ukraine, please do put that down below in the comment section, and I will try to pin anything that's particularly useful so that everyone can access that information. I am going to forego Material Minute this time. I know it's been a long time and everyone loves it, but unfortunately it's just, we have literally so much to talk about today that I just don't think we have time. So I will do it in my next regular Flosstube update, because this update is going to kind of be a cross between a regular update and a WIP Parade. So I'm gonna do my finishes since the last time that you saw me. I have like 2 FFOs and 2 finishes, I think, and then I will go through all of my WIPs in order from oldest to newest WIPs, and then at the end there will be haul, and I will go through things that I know for sure that I've gotten since the last time I saw you. I have probably missed out like a needle minder or something here and there, but I've done my best to kind of keep track of things that I've collected over the past couple of months. So I will be sharing those. And yeah, just make sure that you have your beverage of choice with you. This, by the way, this mug, how cute is this mug? It's like a little, ignore the ring light, but like, look, it's a little cat upside down in this mug. I bought this off of an Instagram ad. This is not sponsored, but this is the only thing I have ever bought off of an Instagram ad. This is from the Wavy company, and they have all of these little animals upside down in these mugs. So this is glass, if you can hear that, and so it's not plastic, and it is like a double layer tumbler, so it keeps things hot or cold depending. So right now I have tea in here, but you could definitely have like a cold drink in here. You could probably put, you know, an adult kind of a drink in here if you wanted to, like some kind of like mixed drink or like a G&T or, you know, something like that. Or you could also just put soda in here or water or whatever, but I absolutely love these. I have the one that's a little cat, and Nico has one that's a little dog with his tongue hanging out, and we just think they're really cute. And for Christmas, they had this one that was like a Christmas tree upside down, which I didn't buy, but I will be buying for next year because I deeply regret that I did not buy that. Anyway, just as a side note. So cheers. Okay. So, like I said, this is my first return video, and I actually have a bit of a disclaimer here. So I filmed this video yesterday, the 26th, and at the end of filming, I was taking a break to run to the bathroom, and then I was going to come back and do the haul, and when I did that and I stopped the video, I realized that the first half of the file had been corrupted, and I had been filming for like 3 hours already at that point. So essentially I lost the first half of the video. So I am currently refilming the first half of the video and the haul portion, because that's the 2 things that we missed out on. Apologies for the lack of continuity. I am in a different outfit. And I will try my best to make sure that I am going in order of everything correctly, but this time I'm filming on my phone instead of on my computer because there was an issue with the webcam, which is where the corruption was, because I have a stream cam, and it's not important. It's not important for you. For me, it was quite an event last night. But anyway, so I am refilming now, so apologies in advance if I like skip over any information because I think I've already told you it, but that's because I told you yesterday and not today or whatever. So if I do that and there's like a lack of continuity, I will try to put the information on the screen, but everything will be linked down below in the description box, so you should have access to all of the charts and projects and things that I talk about. But yeah, just bear with me on that. We are going to be doing a little bit of time jumping. I will be flipping a bit between future, present Evelyn and past Evelyn in this video. So yeah, apologies for that. You know, you got to roll with the punches. So let's get started with my finishes. But before we do that, let me just say that I did a little like calculation-y sort of thing for my progress on my projects since last year, since this is kind of like a beginning of year sort of video as well. So ignore my post-it note. Okay, so at the beginning of last year, I had 3 WIPs when I started my Flosstube channel because I had quite a few finishes over Christmas, and so I only had like 3 left. And starting this year, 2022, or well, as of now in 2022, I have 23 WIPs. I have had 5 finishes so far this year, and in 2021, I had 24 finishes. So I've had a total of 29 finishes since the beginning of 2021 to now. So, you know, averaging out, I may have increased by 20 WIPs as the total, but there were a lot of finishes in there. So that's where we currently are. So first up, I'm going to go through the finishes that I have had since the start of the year, and then or at least since the last time that you saw me. And then we will go through my WIPs. So first up, let's do FFOs. Let's do this one first. So this is Winter Wonderland by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Oh, and I do want to say, because this first part of this video is on my phone, it doesn't have autofocus. In the rest of the video, there will be autofocus because the rest of the video is with my webcam, but apologies if you're not going to get as close up on the stitches in my first couple projects that I'm showing. It's just we're working with what we got today. So again, so this is Winter Wonderland by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and this I started during my We Need a Little Christmas sale that I was hosting in November and December, which I will definitely be doing again. This was over on Instagram. You can run through the hashtag. I'll do a little scroll through the hashtag right here so you can see kind of the things that people posted. But essentially, I just was really in the mood to stitch Christmas. My soul needed it. So starting November 1st, I set up a little thing of all of the projects, Christmas stitching-y projects that I was going to work on between the beginning of November and Christmas. And then I encouraged anyone who wanted to join me, make their own little like plan bracket type of thing. And so many people did. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who participated. Scrolling through that hashtag over that month, it just brought me so much joy. And I can't wait to do it again next year. I'm sorry I didn't get to update you all on how it was going over here, but I was posting regularly about it over on my Instagram. So if you are interested in that, that's all still up there on my feed. But yeah, so anyway, so I started this during We Need a Little Christmas sale. And essentially, this is another one of the Frosted Pumpkin seasonal sayings, like that they finish as a cube, but this one I decided to do as a pillow. So this is on 32 count feldspar, I believe. Okay, yes, I have just confirmed. This is on 32 counts feldspar from Picture This Plus. Ooh, sorry, the little pin's coming out. The reason why I wanted to finish this one on a pillow is because, as you can see, this chart does call for buttons from Jabco. So that's these little snowflakes. And there is supposed to be a button right here of this latte cup from Jabco. But I could not find it in a button form here in the UK. I would have had to import it from the US, and it was going to be like $30 shipping for a single button. And I was like, I can't be doing that. So I did find it as the pin version in one of their little pin mini sets, and it came with these 2 other pins up here. So this little snowman and like mitten. Oh, also apologies for my chipping nail polish. I probably should have done my nails. Regardless. So I decided I wanted to do the pin for this one. So then I thought, well, wouldn't this be super cute as a pillow? So that's what I did. So where his little hand is, I have the pin stuck in, and then I put these 2 on the top just for like extra little accessorizing, I don't know. And I just love this little polar bear. I used all the called for colors for this. So this over-dyed red in the words and in his little jumper is Turkish red from Weeks, I believe. And around the outside, I used Lady Dot Creates palm trim, like the mini palm trim in Brick House. And then on the back, I just used some pink polka dots. This is leftover from the matching projects bags that Sean and I made together. And I have my little 2022 thing on it and my little logo. And yeah, so that's my first FFO. I can't remember, I don't think I had started this the last time I filmed, so this was part of my stitching, so this was like a start and a finish since the last time that I saw you. Next up, we have another finish. This one was not a start though. This is a big one. I don't know if you can. This is Winter Carriage Ride by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and this is such a fun chart. So I started this chart back in Stitchsania, and I had originally wanted to do it during March Madness last year, but the fabric didn't come in time, and so I ended up starting it in Mania. And I finished it this Christmas with the Need a Little Christmas Sal, and then I worked on it a bit more in January because it was still like wintry vibes. And so I absolutely am obsessed with this. So this is on a 32 count earthen from Picture This Plus. Editing Evelyn here. I've officially realized the first thing that I forgot about during the course of having to refilm this. In the original clip of me talking about this, I also wanted to give a shout out to Allie's Stitches because she's the one who inspired me to start this piece, and she actually just finished hers as well, and she has an amazing channel, and I don't think enough people are watching her, so you really need to go check out her channel. I love Allie. She's super cool, so yeah, go check her out. And you can see here, look how cute it is. It's so cute. So we have them on their little carriage ride with the little horsey. And this one's kind of more like a band sampler from them. And they actually have this as part of a seasonal series sort of a thing. And just a tip, if you want to stitch the whole series, there's one for spring and summer and fall as well. And if you want to, they sell them as like a bulk bundle on their website for a bit of a discount if you did want to do all four. I'm definitely going to do a couple of them. I don't know if I'll do all of them. I haven't fully decided yet, but I am going to be doing the spring one. I did just purchase the pattern for that. It looks like this. But yeah, anyway, just a tip. For a lot of their series kind of patterns, they do have bundles that you can save a bit on their website on like the PDF download if you would like. But yeah, so anyway, so I finished this one, and then I decided that I wanted to finish it as like something that went along with the vibe of the carriage ride thing. So I decided to finish it as a little sled. So it is quite big, if you can see that. I think it's like probably like 2 feet tall and maybe like a foot wide. And I rest it on the floor as like part of our decor. I got it off of Amazon. You can see it's like a distressed kind of white wood. It came this way. I didn't paint it like that. I just liked it how it was. And then on the top, I've added like a little handle kind of thing to it that has the 2022 marker on it. And this also lights up. I don't know if you can you see that? Yeah, so it lights up. So it's cute with our Christmas decorations when those are up. And I've just finished this on some sticky board, and I put it on top of another sticky board which has some of the folktail fabric on it. And then I put this ribbon, which I layered. This is actually 3 different ribbons, and I layered them together and kind of did it like that with a hanging down bow. And I just think it's really, really cute. I just love this. And so this like just sits on the floor in our house. We still have it up right now. I think I'll probably take it down in like a day or so as I'm moving over to our spring decor. But I kept this one up because I made the argument that winter still counted. So, but I'm just super happy with this one. And both of these kind of get us into a bit of a discussion about one of the things that I'm doing this year, which is WIP Go, because I also, in addition to working on these for We Need a Little Christmas Sal, I also worked on them in January for WIP Go. So I am doing WIP Go this year. I will put my board up here on the screen. And hopefully this isn't repeating what I filmed later, but I am participating in WIP Go this year, and the way that I'm doing it, because I finally had enough projects basically to do it, So I am using all of my projects except for like 2. I think one of the more recent stitch alongs I started is not on there, and neither is my BFF project with Sean, because we only work on that when we're like FaceTiming each other or seeing each other in person. And it's like an exclusively we work on it together thing, so it would be weird if then I put it on my WIP Go. Regardless, everything else is on here. And I also have like a little key, which I'll put up to show what the colors mean. But essentially, the dark pink means I've like finished the goal. The little sparkles means I finished the project. And the white block means it's been called, but I haven't finished it yet. So that's like the little key. So far, in January, my 2 called projects were Winter Wonderland and Winter Carriage Ride, which was good because I was already working on them. It just like conveniently happened that way. So I finished both of those. So those are marked as finishes on here. And I will go through my goals for all of my other WIPs and stuff as I come to them in the course of this video. Some of them have different goals. Some of them are like stitch goals. Some of them are like days worked on. Some of them are like, I want to finish this project. And the way that I'm doing it as well, because I know everyone does WIP Go differently. Essentially, if you don't know, it's like a bingo board. I mean, everyone's doing it, but if you don't know, it's like a bingo board, but for your WIPs. And when your number is called that month, it's the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And she has some great videos on it. I'll link to one of them below where she kind of describes what this is. But essentially when you call on it, that's like your focus project for that month. And if you finish your goals, you get some kind of reward that you determine for yourself, etc. But the real reward is that you've worked on your WIPs and made progress on them. The way that I'm doing it for myself is that my rewards will be that the free space in the middle of the chart will be a new start for me whenever that is called. So that's like a free new start. And then I also will be giving myself new starts anytime I get like a bingo, like 5 in a row, just for like motivation purposes. And those are going to be new starts that are not like, that are like presents, kind of like not new starts that are like little smalls or something that I would work on anyway or something for someone else. This is like just I get to start something like exciting. That's what those are as far as I've conceptualized it. So yeah, so that's how that's working. Oh, sorry, I just coughed a bit and now I'm like tearing up. My life. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. Hopefully it'll come back in a minute. So yeah, so that's how I'm doing that. And then also in terms of completing the goals, I know some people have theirs set as like goals for the year. Like I think Pam does it that way, from Pam and Steph at Just Keep Stitching, where it like is supposed to be, if she does it earlier in the year or whatever, that means it's like done. The way that I'm doing mine is that that is the goal for the month that it is called. And I can work on it a lot before then or a lot after then, and that's great, but it doesn't cancel out the amount that I need to do in the month that is called. And so the only way that it would cancel it out is if I finished the project before it's called, just because I want to make sure that I'm keeping them as like the focus project for that month. But I definitely am in between working on my 2 focus projects every month. Will be working on my other WIPs, might work on some WIPs extra if they were called that month and I wanted to keep going with it. And I also will be allowing myself any other kind of like little seasonal small starts or whatever in whatever month that I want, or anything extra. I am free to do that in between my focus projects. Just because I don't want to deny myself seasonal stitching just because I'm doing WIP Go, if that makes sense. So I think the way that I'm thinking of like starts that I would get rewarded with bingos as are like starts that are not seasonal projects. They're more like a big new chart that I've been wanting to start, rather than like more of my little seasonal smalls and stuff like that. The seasonal smalls I can do regardless. Those don't count because they only take me like 3 days and they're really fun, and I'm not gonna deny myself that. So essentially that's how I'm thinking about my WIP Go. I hope that that's made sense, and we will get more into the rest of my WIP Go projects in a bit, but I just wanted to clarify that those two projects were my January projects. So now for the other two finishes that I have had since the last time. And these were full starts and finishes in the sense that they each took like 2 days. So they really were quick little projects. And I don't really think it will surprise you to learn that these are both frosted pumpkin patterns because of who I am as a person. Oh wait, no, there's 3 finishes. I forgot, I have 5. Okay, so I'll do the 2 starts and finishes first, and then I'll show you the one that's actually kind of a big finish in a minute. So this first one is a new little seasonal series from the Pumpkins that I started, which is their Hello Season series. And this is what they all look like here. And I am going to do all of them. And this is another one of the ones where you can get them as a discount if you buy the bulk pattern, which is what I did. If you buy all 4 together. So this one is Hello Winter, which is the one I did first. And this was my little seasonal project that I did this month, in addition to a Valentine's one, which I'll show you in a second. So this is on 28 count crystal Ariel from Picture This Plus, I believe. And you can really see the sparkle a bit there. And I just think this is cute as all hell. They're, oh heck, I don't know. Ignore me. Okay, if you have kids, I apologize that we're watching this video. So this is a little girl buying some hot cocoa from a little boy running a stand, and I just love it. They're so cute. Look at their little happy smiling faces. And I just think this is really cute. I love the color palette for this, and I really wanted to do it on this kind of sparkly opalescent fabric to go along with the idea that it was like snowing. And how I'm going to finish these, I've already decided, is inspired by Liz at Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So you know how she has behind her in her videos that little like metal tin that has the, I think they're the Brenda Gervais like word plays that say like the name of the month on it, and then they have like whatever, and she switches them out every month with like magnets to the tin, and then she puts them in the tin when it's not that month's turn. That's what I'm going to do. So I got this off of Wayfair. It's like a metal tin, and it's white with some like black speckles on it, and then it has like a little faux pink leather handle at the top, which I thought was cute. And essentially I'm going to finish these as like little magnets and then magnet them to the front, and then when it's not in season, I'll just pop them in there. Because these are quite small. Like, as you can see, it will definitely fit. You can't really tell right now because of like the extra fabric. Ow! Okay, sorry. You can't really tell right now because the extra fabric is in the way, but you can get an idea of how that'll look. And I think I might put pom-pom trim around them because I'm addicted to it, but we'll see. So that's how I'm going to finish this. Hopefully I can like FFO this today maybe, or tomorrow or something like that, just so that it's magneted up there for one day before I put it away. And then I start on the spring one this next month, which is one of my goals for March. What my little seasonal project for March, or at least one of them, will be to do the Hello Spring one, because this really only took me like 3 days. So that's Hello Winter, and it's super cute and I love it. The other seasonal project that I did from the Pumpkins this past month was a little joint Valentine's birthday present for Nico, because his birthday is on the 17th and obviously Valentine's is the 14th. And so I kind of, in addition to his like real presents, which were like a video game and a trip out to dinner and like stuff like that, I also wanted to get him something that was just kind of like cheesy and corny and cute. And so I stitched him I Love You A Latte from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is on 28 count Oaken from Picture This Plus. And it's just super cute. The black, I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually the Etoile 310. So it has a little bit of sparkle to it in person. And those are like little coffee beans in addition. And I just really think it's cute. And I love the little heart in the latte foam art on top of the on top of the latte, and I just think it's really cute. And he's the, oh, and also the little X's and O's in the background. Can you see those? Ugh, it's just so cute. This is, Nico is the coffee drinker in our family, and my mom got him an espresso machine like 2 Christmases ago, and so we're gonna put this in a little frame next to the espresso machine for him. And I actually got the frame already. So this is another thing that I need to FFO. So here's the little frame I'm gonna put it in. Just a little frame off of Amazon. I'll link it below. And it's a 5x5, which will be just about the size of this, as you can kind of guess from that. So yeah, I'm just gonna frame that up and put that in our kitchen. And it is like a white distressed, which I thought went really well with the design. So yeah, so that's that little cute little love gift for Nico. And I was just in the mood for some Valentine's stitching, so I did that in between my 2 February projects. So my other February project, in addition to one that I will show you in a bit, which is still a WIP, was actually a finish. So this is the one that I forgot about for some bizarre reason. So this is another pumpkins piece, and this is Merry and Bright from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I started this one during the We Need a Little Christmas sale as well. I can't remember if I started it before my last video, so I don't know if you've seen it, but I have posted what my progress was over the course of the sale on my Instagrams, so you can check that out there. But this was called for me for WIP Go this month, and the goal was 7 days, and I managed to finish it in 3. So here it is. So this is Merry and Bright. This is on a 32 count, I believe. It's either 32 or 28 count crystal quartz. I'll put it on the screen from Picture This Plus. It's the called for, I'm pretty sure. And so the part that I had during the sale was essentially this side. So I had started from the little gingerbread and worked the little boy and Mary and the penguin, and I had just started on the girl. And then over the course of the 3 days that I worked on this in February, I finished the girl and the entire rest of the chart. So I was pretty addicted to this one, and it kind of just flew right by. I love how the sparkle is actually picking up. This is so cool. The sparkle never shows up on these things, so I'm just very happy that it's showing the sparkle. But I just love the little, like, border. It looks so candy cane-like. And I just love this little girl with the present. And just, it's just so cute. And also behind the bee, there's, like, a really cute frosted little tree. And then there's the string of lights hanging above their head. And I just really, really, really love this piece. I can't wait to finish it for Christmas this year. I'm gonna do it like a long kind of sign, like a long little rectangular sign is my plan. And it really goes with my like bright and colorful kind of Christmas decor. So I'm just super happy to have this one finished. And that's another project checked off of my WIP Go board. And I stitched it up so quick, like literally 3 more days on it, and boom, it was done. To be fair, I couldn't really put it down, but still. Okay, so those are all of the finishes that I have had since the last time that we spoke. So now let's get into my WIPs. We're gonna start with the oldest first. Now, my full record of the order is on my phone, and I'm filming on my phone, so I'm gonna have to kind of go on memory here for the first like 4 or so until we switch to past Evelyn. So bear with me if I'm like slightly off on the dates. The actual dates will be on the screen. So my oldest WIP is a 2020 WIP. So I started this, I believe, in October of 2020. And this is Long Dog Samplers Quilted Bees. It's going to end up being 211 by 220. I think it's like 25 or 28,000 stitches, and I've done about like 2,500, so I think I'm about 8% complete. and I love the colors of this one, and my idea is inspired by Letitia, the crafty curator, who said that she's gonna do hers as like a pillow finish because it's gonna be like 18 by 18, I think, on 32 count, which is what I'm doing, and I think that's an absolute brilliant idea, so that's what I'm going to do as well. And I'm using the DMC conversion on this one. I think the called for is gassed, but I started this before I used fancy floss, so. And I'm doing mine on just 32 count white Belfast from Zweigart, so nothing super fancy. And this is my progress so far. So I have finished this block up here, the gingham block, and the block below it. I've started on the full coverage dragonfly one right there, the purpley one. I've blocked out a bit of this mustard yellow one and done a bit of the leaves on this one, and then I'm about 2/3 of the way through this red block here, which is the one I'd been focusing on the last time that I worked on it, as you can see by my dangling thread. This needle minder is the Made to Create needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And yeah, so I'm working in the top left-hand corner still. And this project has been called for my WIP Go in March. So I'm gonna be doing 3,000 stitches at least on this in the month of March, which I think is good because I really don't pull this one out very often, even though I do still like it. So I think I'm hoping that having a good chunk of stitches to put into it will kind of like give me some more momentum back with this project. So yeah, so that's Quilted Bees. And I'm excited to put some more stitches in on this one. So the next time you see it, hopefully, maybe I'll have finished another block or something. That would be cool if I had completed some more blocks in that upper left-hand corner, and then I could kind of move further down the chart. So that'll be coming out in a couple of days' time. The second project that I have is also from October 2020, and that is a fan favorite. So this is 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. This was a free stitch along from them in 2020, and it is still free and accessible on their website. And I am stitching mine obviously long after the stitch along is over, but I am almost finished finally, and this will be a finish this year. So this is where I'm at. Oh, this is what the whole thing will look like. Just, there you go. Okay, and this is where I'm at. So I have the whole like top half of the chart, and I have all of the border down the left side finished. I need to repeat that on this side. And, or well, it's the left side. And then I need to do like this little clump of owls down here in this corner needs to kind of repeat over here on this side. Obviously different owls, but I just need to fill in that space. And then it's just the bottom border and it's done. This is on the called for fabric, which is 32 count Zweigart Belfast in limestone, which is like a gray kind of light green, like a tanny light gray green kind of a color. It's a really pretty color. And I'm using the DMC conversion because again, before I started using fancy floss, although if in the future I was to do one of their patterns, I probably would use the fancy floss just because they're really pretty, but I still like how this has turned out. And this one, the goal for the year is to finish it on my WIP Go board. So the next time this is called, this puppy's gonna be done. And that's a little Hedwig needle minder that Mama Loves You GB sent me, I think. And yeah, this is one of my favorites, and I can't wait to have it hanging up in my house because it has been quite the big project to work on. So I'll be really excited when it's like finished and I can display it. And I also am pretty proud of my back on this one. Not too shabby. Not that backs matter, but you know. Let's see, what was my next project? Thinking on the fly. I think my next project is actually my New Year, New Start. So that would be my New Year, New Start for 2021, which was Tulip House by Hands On Design. And these are in project bags that I made myself using the fabulous Liz's vinyl project bag tutorial. And for this one, I used more folktale fabric, my favorite fabric line. We all know this. I talk about it all the time. I will, as always, have her project bag tutorials linked down below for all of the bags that I've made. And so this is the chart. Apologies for the glare, I'll tip it. So this is Tulip House, and it's part of the Chalk for the Home series. There's one for each season. I don't think I'm going to do the other ones though. I just really like the tulip one. We have tulips on our curtains in our living room, so it's like meant to be. And I still am obsessed with this one. The goal for this one on my WIP Go board this year is to finish it. And this is where I am currently. So this is on 30 count, gunmetal from Weeks. It is old Weeks, which I don't really like, but I've already gotten this far, so we're just gonna finish it. And I've finished the house completely and all of the tulips on this side. And so what I need to do is finish the tulips on this side and then the bottom. And so when this is called, that will be the plan. This is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch Needleminder. It says Adventure Await. And I still love this one. And I think the plan is to frame this and hang it above our like mail holder by the front door as like a little welcome to our home kind of a sign, I think. And I just still love the colors in this chart. I'm using all of the called fors, which is a mix of Gast and Weeks. And maybe some Classic Colorworks as well. I can't fully remember off the top of my head. But this one will be a finish this year for absolute sure. And I probably will work on it a bit during spring as well, just for like spring tulipy kind of vibes, even if it's not called on WIP Go in the next couple of months. I'll probably work on it anyway. All right, so the next project was at the end of January 2021. And that is my full coverage piece, which is Visit Hogsmeade by Country Magic Stitch. And I have this one in a Harry Potter bag that I made using some Gryffindor fabric, and I like hand stitched on this patch from Gryffindor. And there's my little label thing. And then on the inside, the fabric is the Marauders map. And I also made this little Marauders map cabochon, like dangle, using Mama Loves You GB's tutorial, which I will link down below. And this one will look like this. And I use this one on Pattern Keeper, and I believe it's like 22,000 stitches. So it's not super, super big as far as full coverage pieces go. And I think I've done about 2,000 something, so I think I'm like 10% complete on this one. And this is where I'm at. So I've done this part of the top left corner, and I'm kind of doing this here to avoid getting a line, like a harsh demarcation kind of line, although there might be one right there, but it is what it is. And I've worked this part of the mountains and some of these snowflakes, and this part of this chimney stack with the smoke blowing up, and then we're kind of starting on one of the houses right here. So that's how far I've gotten, and my goal for this one, when it's called, is 3,000 stitches, so same as Quilted Bees. These are the two like full coveragey, lots of stitches pieces that I have. This one is 100% full coverage. That one does have some white space in it, but still. But I'm hoping that I'll pull this one out a bit more regularly this year as well. I would like to finish it and put it up on my Harry Potter wall. So, yep. So that's that one. I really love the colors in this design. Oh, and I did get an email from the designer recently saying that this pattern has been taken off of Etsy. So now it's only available on the Country Magic Stitch website. So I will link to the website rather than to the Etsy pattern, which is, I believe, what I've done before. So just a fair warning if you do want to get this chart. And here's a better view of the Marauders map fabric on the inside of the bag that I made. Okay, so I believe that my next WIP was filmed in the footage that I do have remaining from yesterday. So you will now see past Evelyn reappear until the end of my cross stitch whips and knitting and crochet whips, and then I, future Evelyn, will come back for my haul, and then we will wrap this video up. See you in a bit. Roll to past Evelyn. Okay, so my next project, oh, sorry, my chair is squeaking now, all of a sudden. So my next project is I Forget the Rest by Lindy Stitches. If you hear that kind of foghorn sound, that is my chair, apparently has decided to squeak now. So this is the chart. We were together, I forget the rest. This is an anniversary project for Nico and I. Our anniversary is February 3rd. That is until we get married next year, in which then it will be October the 10th. But for now, it's February 3rd. And I started this last year, although I had to wait for the fabric to come in, so I actually didn't get to start it until Valentine's Day last year. And this was one of my WIP Go projects that was called for February, which was just perfect because I wanted to work on it over our anniversary and Valentine's Day and stuff anyway. And so this is on the called for fabric, which is a 32 count tarnish by Picture This Plus. My goal for WIP Go was to finish the second owl. This is where it was the last time that you saw it. So I had the owl that is meant to represent me was finished, but I hadn't started on Nico, the owl, and so I completed my goal. So now we have both owls there, and I also finished the little stars around his head and these two leaves at the bottom of the chart. So all that's left is the branch at the bottom and the leaves around it that say, and then, you know, I forget the rest right there at the bottom. So this is him. And this is using all of the called fors except the white in the branch. I am using chalk from Gast, and the called for is Petite Maison from Classic Colorworks, but when mine came in the mail, it was blue instead of white, so decided to go with a white instead. I need to do the back stitching in between the owls, but I'm saving that for later because you also need a back stitch around their feet on the branch, so I just decided to wait and do it all together once I have the branch in. But yeah, so this was a goal complete for me, and I absolutely love this. My plan for when this is finished is to hang it up here in our hallway and to start another one of the Lindy Stitches bird anniversary kind of projects, which is Stars Bright. So, and I already have Stars Bright, and I think I have it kitted as well. So just whenever this is done, that will be next. And still absolutely love this piece. The next one was also from February 2021, and that was the Sal that I started with Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching, for Celebrate Winter by Madame Chantilly. And so our Sal is called Celebrate Chantilly Sal, and you can stitch any of the Madame Chantilly patterns, any of the tiered trays, which is what we're doing, or just any of her patterns. She has so many cute patterns. I am doing Celebrate Winter, as I said, and so is Megan, and I think she's recently done a restart of it, which she talked about on her channel. And so this is where mine was the last time that you saw it, and I did work on it a bit over Christmas during the We Need a Little Christmas sale, and I also worked on it a bit in January for like winter vibes. And so this is where I'm at. So I have all of the tree in. Oh wait, this is what it'll look like. Okay, so I have all of the tray in, sorry, not the tree. And then I finished winter at the bottom, the little saying. And then I have started in on this green tree on the bottom tier, if this will focus. There we go. So yeah, so I started in on that green tree at the bottom of the tray. And we have winter. And these little gaps and stuff are where other parts of the chart go. I just wanted to do the whole tray first because that's what Megan recommended to do, and she's stitched the summer one already. So I decided to listen to her as the authority. And this is on 36 count natural swagard. Or I think it's raw, but what raw natural, you know what I mean. So yeah. So that one will get pulled out again for whenever it gets called. And the goal for it is 7 days of work on this. So hopefully that I would get some really good progress on the bottom of the tray, and then maybe it can be finished next winter. So yeah. So that one's just gonna be a WIP for a long time. It's quite a big project, like size-wise. So I think it's just gonna be in there for a while. But I'm not too fussed about it. So the next one I started was in March last year for March Madness, March Stitchy Madness, run by Steel City Stitchers. I'm not going to be participating this year because I'm like focusing on my WIP Go, but hopefully next year I'll be back to it. So this is Mayflower's Tree by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it is over here somewhere. So this one will look like this, and I am going to finish it as like the little tree and have it sit in our living room. And I'm doing mine on a 32 count Splash Murano in powder pink. So it has these little white splotches on it, and you can see there that it is a pink compared to the white. Sometimes it washes out a bit when I show it on camera, but it is a pink. And this is where I am. Again, it's a lot easier to see the stitches in person because it's kind of blowing them out right now, but this is using 3865. And it's all monochrome. So I finished the first 3 tiers. So we have this tulip at the top. Maybe you can see it better here. Yeah, that's better. So this tulip at the top, and then 2 like pansy kind of looking flowers. And then a row of these little, they don't look like tulips necessarily, but some more flowers. And then I believe there's 2 more rows. So my goal for this one for this year is to finish it because there's only like 2 rows left. And once I get a move on with it, it'll be quite easy to do. But yeah, the stitches show up way better in person than they ever come up on camera. I wish this chart looked better on camera than it does, but let me see if I can. Does this look better? Can you see that better? Not even close. Okay, whatever. You'll just have to believe me. That sounds bad, but yeah, you can kind of see it better there. But I just think it's going to be really pretty also when it's ironed, because there's like, it's not looking too great at the minute with the ironing marks. You can kind of see the stitching better there in this lighting. But yeah, it's a lot brighter than that in real life. But anyway, yeah, so I have like 2 more rows with it, and that's the goal for this year, is to finish that one up. And then I will finish it like the tree. Liz has a little tutorial for how to do that she made. So I will just follow that. And yeah. And I bought it ages ago. I think I did show it on my channel. Like a little wooden circle thing that I'm going to use as the base. And then I think I'll get a stick from the ground somewhere. Put that in the middle, like a branch. Okie dokie. What's up next? What did I do next? I think that's the only piece from March Madness that I hadn't finished yet. I think everything else I finished. So we might be moving into Stitchsania. The next one I worked on during Stitchsania, but it was technically a SAL that I started on May 1st with Morgan, Honeybee Stitcher. And this is the Quaker Pumpkins from Hello from Liz Matthews. This is in another folktale bag that I made. I absolutely love this fabric. It's the greatest fabric on earth. I don't know why I love that fabric. I just do. And so this is Quaker Pumpkins. And the SAL that we started is called the Hello Quaker SAL, which basically the idea behind it is that you can work on any of the Quaker patterns from Hello from Liz Matthews on the hashtag. But we both started with Hello Pumpkin. What am I on about? Quaker Pumpkins. Sorry. Okay. So this is what the chart will look like. This is where I'm at. And this is on 40 count Little Bunny by XG Designs. It is a little bit orangey, like a peachy kind of a color. If you can tell the difference there. And this is the Hello Pumpkin needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And so I have finished the leftmost pumpkin and these little star motifs at the top, and then the top part of the border down the side to the bottom part of the border, and then the bird that starts before it says All Hallows Eve. And I will be stitching All Hallows Eve. I know some people have changed it, but I like that, so I'm going to keep it. And yeah, so I will be pulling this out again definitely during autumn this year, and I want to do a good bit of stitching on it this year. My goal for WIP Go on it is 7 days. So a full week on this one, but hopefully I'll work on it more than that as well and try to get some more pumpkins across the top. This is a very long chart. It goes like way this way, and this is on a full fat quarter. So I have a lot of fabric left, and I'll have a lot of fabric left over afterwards. And I'm using all of the called for colors for that, which are Weeks colors. I think they look a little more different from each other in the photo than they do, at least in the batch that I got. But it doesn't really bother me. I think it still looks really beautiful. Okay, so then the next one is definitely one that was like a Stitchsania exclusive kind of piece. What I worked on most during Stitchsania was 100 Owls, but I also had a couple of starts during that time, one of which was Girl Scissors and Sewing Machine by Little Room in the Attic off Etsy. And I started this one in the middle of May. And this one is on a 32 count Rubescent from Chromatic Alchemy. And oh, this is what it'll look like. And I haven't worked on this since the last time you saw it, so here we have the beginnings of the little girl. So you can see I have her body in and part of her face, and then all of her dress. And then I've started outlining the sewing machine and putting some of the colors in. I was inspired to start this by Kansas City Girl and a Colorado World, Julie. I saw this on her channel in one of her like past finishes segments, and I straight up died and then immediately went and ordered it. And you can see the Krynic on her dress there. There's quite a bit of Krynic in this piece. And yeah, I absolutely love this. It's so cute. There's going to be tons of back stitching once I've finished regular cross stitches. And for this one, the goal is to finish it, I believe. Yep. My goal for this one is to finish this year and get it finished. And I think hung up in here maybe so you can see it in my videos. I'll have to decide, but I think I want to put it in here in the office. So that's this one. And I really love this fabric. It's got a cool mix of like purple, pink, and orange. You can kind of see it really nice there. Because I think Julie had hers on a purpley kind of a fabric, and I was just like, ooh, that looks so good. So I went on the hunt and chose this one. Okay, where did we go next? This is so fun. It's like going through a little adventure of my own projects. The sun is going down a little bit, so hopefully that's not messing with the lighting too much. I do have my lighting on my ring light, so hopefully it'll still be fine. Okay, so we're skipping forward a few months, I think. So now my next start was my start with Sean when I met her in person, which was still one of the coolest things that I've ever done. Let's get to meet her in real life. And this is in our matching bags that we made. See, this is the polka dot that I used for the back of Winter Wonderland as well. And so it has this So Vintage fabric from Nutex, I think. And this is Butter Believe It by Silver Creek Samplers. This was I think it was not a market release, but what's the online one? Y'all, what is that called? The virtual one that they did instead of market. Expo. Jesus. I think this was an Expo release. And so it says, I have a lot to say, maybe you should get popcorn. And we're stitching this in honor of like our really long chats that we like to have together and stuff on FaceTime. And I think when we're finished, we're gonna start another BFF start as well, and just always have one on the go, because it's just really fun to have a project that we work on when we talk to each other, that we're both working on. So this one we have made some progress on since I spoke to you last, because I have spoke to Sean a couple of times. Well, I speak to her very regularly over text, but I mean, like, we FaceTimed a few times, so I did work on it. So this is on 32 Count Gingerbread by Sparklies, and here is where I am at. So the major change that we made is in the pattern, as you can see, they use gassed pumpkin pie, I think, for popcorn and a lot. And we are using instead Classic Colorworks Hollyberry. So it's a lot more red, but I think we both like that better, the idea of like the popcorn part being red. And so I have all of the words in and a good number of the little popcorn pieces, which are unexpectedly very dense kind of to stitch. They don't look very big, but then it's actually a lot more stitches than you'd think. And I have just started on the top of the popcorn box. And I think we decided that we are gonna put 2021 in the little date in the popcorn box, even though we're gonna finish this year probably, because we started it in 2021 when we met each other. So we kind of want it to commemorate us going to meet them in real life. So yeah, so that's where we're at with this one. And I think she and I are going to have another talk soon, so hopefully I will have some more progress to show on this next time I film. Okay, and then the next one I started was in August, and that was the Glitter Village series from Country Cottage Needleworks, which I have in this bag, this little like Christmas bag that I made. I think this is a Craft Cotton Company, and this is like a Moda kind of fabric. They're like little asterisks, but I thought they kind of looked like snowflakes. Anyway, so that's what this one is. And I put a little snowflake charm on the zipper pull. And so this one, I am doing it as like the 9 squares together, so that's what this will look like. And I have all of the patterns here, so I won't show you them all. But so far I have done the first pattern, so like glitter house number 1 or whatever. I am doing it on the called for fabric, which is the Zweigart Raw Silver, which I don't know if you can see how sparkly this is, but it's incredibly sparkly. And I have done the one in the top left-hand corner. So, oh, and I have the little gingerbread from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So I've done this one. I might rip out his eyes and do them again. The French knots look good, but they look like huge. Like it looks like he got bug eyes or something. So I might do that one again. But anyway, that's just personal thing. The more I've looked at it, the more I'm like, God, his eyes are big. But so this does have some metallics in it. It's an Avera Soie. I think you can see it around the door. So my goal for this one for WIP Go is to do the next house. And then I will pull it out again, hopefully a couple more times leading up to Christmas. So that's this one. And I'm using all of the called for colors for that. It's all over dyes. Here they are. A tangled mess. I thought that was going to look like a lot cooler than it actually did, because I picked them up and it was just like an absolute mess. Okay. So my next one, I believe, is my birthday start. And I did this one with the birthday start sale, and I did like a live stream on my around my birthday and started this one. So feel free to use birthday start sale for whenever you get a start on your birthday, just because I think it would be fun to like look through everyone's birthday starts, rather than that you have to just start something on my birthday. I thought more that if everyone put their birthday starts in there, it could be fun. So just a reminder that I did make that hashtag over on Instagram. This is Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Los Matthews, and it will look like this. And I am doing mine on 40 count antique white, so not like a complicated fabric. But I have a very, very small start. It is not a big start. So I'm hoping that I can work on it more this year. I'm going into like spring and summer and stuff, because truthfully, this is an embarrassing out. So here we go. This tiny little cream, like 20 stitches is my start on this white fabric, so you like can't even see that I did it. This is a cupcake needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Yeah, obviously need to put a lot more time into this project, but I'm definitely wanting to work on it more in the coming months. And this one, my official goal is 7 days. But I'm hoping I'll work on it more than that and get like more of these butterflies in around this area rather than just these like 20 little stitches right there. That's the one thing about starting a project on a birthday live stream, is you just like talk the whole time and then you didn't really start anything. At least that's from my personal experience. Okay, what's next? Okay, yeah, so I think the next thing that I started was actually the Cozy Cafe Club from Frosted Pumpkin. I started this one in September, and I'm not doing this along with the SAL, obviously, because the SAL is over. But I'm working on it on my own time. And this is in my first project bag that I ever made using the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch non-vinyl tutorial. And this is Ruby Star Society, I think, and then some Moda as well, and then it has like the inversion of them there at the top. For this one, I'm currently working on it, actually. I pulled it out to work on it in the couple of days before I start my March projects, so it's on the Q-Snap. And it has changed since the last time you saw it. So this is what the whole chart will look like. This is where I was the last time you saw it. And this is where it is now. So I have shared this update on my Instagram. But so I had the Raspberry Mocha finished. And I moved over and did the Earl Grey tea and the matcha in January. And I finished this part underneath them. So I think where I'm going to go next when I start on this afternoon, or well, I guess tonight, because now it's 4:39, but I'm going to start on the Strawberry Lemonade, which is right here, and sort of round this corner of the chart. So obviously I have made one big change to this, which is that I'm doing it on a chalkboard fabric. So this is 32 count slate by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, which is the called for in basically every single one of the Hands On Designs chalkboard patterns. I think in the dyeing process, this particular fabric shrunk quite a bit. So this is really more of a 36 count, which is why my cups are so small. I don't know if you can see that. It is going to be significantly smaller than the called for size, but it doesn't really bother me that much. And the other change I made was I charted this little accent aigu on the E here in Cafe, just because I like when Cafe has the accent on it. I don't know. It was just it's not really that deep. I just personally wanted it there. So yeah, so that's my progress on that one. This chart is literally so cute. I cannot. And I love how it's coming off to look like a menu chalkboard. It's just going to be perfect. And my plan is to buy one of those like chalkboard signs or something from the craft store and then finish this on top of that. So it'll like blend in like it is a chalkboard sign. That's the plan. So my goal for this one, this is the only piece that is on my WIP Go board twice, because I really want to work on this year because I just love this one. So this one is on there twice, and each time it's to do the next drink. So to do whatever drink I want to do next. So these two, weren't called or anything. I just did those for fun. So I'm kind of like getting myself closer to a finish, but even though I've done these two, I'm not checking off that I did 2 next drinks, because I want to do a drink when it's called as well, so that I'm getting closer to a finish, if that makes sense. So, but hopefully in the next couple of days, because it's the 26th, so I have like a couple of days until March, hopefully I can get the strawberry lemonade one done. So yeah, absolutely love this chart. This is just the coolest chart. And I have this little tea coffee needle minder there. Love that one. And then I'll do all the beads and stuff at the end, because that one does have beads. And speaking of Frosted Pumpkin year-long stitch-alongs, I signed up yesterday for the Under the Sea stitch-along, which this is a flash forward of plans, but I'm just too excited about it. So they released this preview that the Sal for this year is Under the Sea themed, and I immediately signed up and I'm so excited. All of the fabric and needle minders sold out, including the UK stockist that they have here, which is the Homemakery, which is where I buy a lot of my Pictures Plus from here in the UK. So they sold out of everything. So I've just got the chart, and then I'm gonna kit it up myself. I don't have the called for Nessie in my stash, I don't think. I might do. I'll have to check. But if not, I have like similar blue oceany kind of colors. So excited about that. That starts on March 25th. So let me know if you're joining that down below, because I think it's been their like most requested sal ever since they started doing the year-long sals, and it's just gonna be so cute. Like, look, there's a little like pufferfish and a little mermaid. And in the background, there's like an otter that looks like the Animal Crossing otter holding his oyster. And it's just too much for me. The cuteness is too much for me. I cannot tell you how much I love the Frosted Pumpkin stitchery. Like, Ashley and Amanda, I love you so much. Your charts are just the cutest darn things in the entire world. And I guess you can see by my whips that I like them a lot as well. Okay, so my next one was Lucky Nutcracker. So this is a sal with caterpillar cross stitch. So this one was kindly gifted to me by Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch and the team to participate in the stitch along. And I have done about like just under half of it, I think. So this is what the whole thing will look like. This is what like the final release design was. And this was their Christmas stitch along this year. And I am doing mine on 28 count white casual linen. Sally only sells Aida or even weave. But for this one, I wanted to do it on linen. And this is where I'm at. So I worked on this a bit during We Need a Little Christmas sale. So I have finished the Nutcracker and the tree, which were the first 2 parts, and then I finished the part 3, which was Clara, and then I'll be moving over here and doing the Sugar Plum Fairy, and then the bottom is the Mouse King. And this one is on my WIP Go this month. Has been called this month for the next part. So I'm going to do the Sugar Plum Fairy and then, you know, see how far I get. And then I'll pull this out again at Christmas and finish it is my goal. Because it doesn't take, like, it is a lot of stitching, but this also is kind of like therapeutic colory stitching. So I think if I prioritize it during the Christmas season, it'll be done during my We Need a Little Christmas sale. And I have the kit needle minder for it, which is this Nutcracker, and I love nutcrackers. So yeah, so this one will be coming out this month in a couple of days, and I'll be we'll see how far I can get. Maybe I can do like 2 parts even, or like a part and a half, you know, we'll see. We will see. because I also need to do 3,000 stitches on quilted bees. So, but yeah, so that's this one. Not sure how I'm going to fully finish that one yet. Haven't really decided if I want to like frame it or what. Maybe I've seen some people have made it into a pillow, which is a cute idea. I might frame it and, ooh, what I could do, I could frame it and then have it replace where Tulip House goes during the rest of the year, like above the mail. But only during the Christmas season, you know? That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. We'll think about it. We have time. So then the next one that I started, everyone please take, you know, drink and snack breaks if needed. This is this is very long. The next one is Hello Pumpkin from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is the last of the 4 trees that I have to finish of her seasonal trees. I have this in a fall kind of bag that I made. This is not Lewis and Irene. I think it is Dashwood Studio. And I'm doing this one the same as I did all of them, other than the first one, which is 28 count white cashel. I did the first one on 28 count white even weave. That was Hello Dear, which I did at like with the Sal. So this one is on cashel. This is what the whole thing will look like. And here is where I'm at. So I started in the middle and worked this whole like pie sliver of the tree basically. And then I did the trunk, and I've done like half of this mushroom and part of the grass, and then I've started on the pumpkins down here. So my goal for this one for WIP Go is it's 7 days, but I think I could finish it in 7 days based on how fast I stitch up these trees because of all the little like leaf motifs and stuff. I just get in a real like groove with it. So I'm hoping after the 7 days, if it's not finished, there'll only be like a little bit left to go that I work on during the fall season, and then this one will go up and I'll have all of them done. And I'm going to finish it the exact same as the other ones, which is like pinned and sitting on a little easel with some palm trim around it. So yeah. So that's this one. So the goal for the year, I think, is to finish this one, but the official WIP Go goal is 7 days. So yeah, that's that one. I just love the colors on this one. It just, oh, they're just so cute. And I have the owl needle minder for this one, which I think once I finish this part, the next thing I'm going to do is the owl, and then kind of like round the tree like this. That's what I did for Hello Sunshine, or well, Hello Sunshine, I did it with the Sal, but like Hello Petal, I like rounded the tree, and I think that works well. Now we have my Halloween start, which is Stitch Rovia's Midnight Magic. This came out in the CrossStitcher magazine in October 2021, and it kind of like blew up on Instagram, and a lot of people were starting it. And when I saw it in the magazine through my Readly subscription, I just really wanted to start it. And then when everyone else started doing it, I was like, oh, go on then, I'll start it. So I started this one on Halloween, and I'm doing mine on 28 count Picture This Plus Twilight. This is like the cover photo from the magazine of what the chart will look like. And this is what I have so far. So I have with a little, and the full saying is everything is better with a little magic. And the one thing that I've done is I think I'm adding, so I've added Krynic in there, some silver Krynic, you can see it. I think it's supposed to be this very like light green color for the little sparkles and stuff, but I thought it would be cooler if it was Krynic. And at the top, they want you to have like a little pumpkin button. I don't know if I'll use the called for one. I might use a different button. I haven't decided what I'm going to do there. But so this one will be one of my like Halloween focus projects for this year, I think, along with other little starts I'm going to have. And that one, the goal is 7 days. Okay, so then next up, I believe we are entering my we need a little Christmas Sal. So I started quite a few Christmas themed projects between November 1st and Christmas, some of which I finished and you have seen, and then some other ones as well. So let me see which one I started first. Okay, so this is the one, this is the one that's also an FFO of a different project. So this is the advent calendar that I'm making for Nico and I. And it is both a WIP and an FFO, as you can see. So the FFO is this part. So this is Frosted Pumpkin Christmas Morning Goodies, which I had started in my last video and I showed you, and I did finish it. I did it on 32 count raw silver from Zweigart. It's the same that Glitter Village is on. And so I finished it by putting some like maroony rickrack around it and then putting it on like a peach polka dot kind of fabric and then putting that on top of a Christmas kind of fabric and adding a little bow. And then I put some twinkle lights in it. Let's see if they'll turn on. No, the batteries are out. Oh, yeah, there they go. So then I put some twinkle lights around it. And I finished it in one of those wooden make your own advent calendar frames. And I bought this off of Amazon, I think. And it came like plain wood. And so I painted it white. And then I painted each of the individual drawers. They pull out like this. So I just painted the outside of the drawers different colors that brought out the colors in the Christmas Morning Goodies chart and in this fabric. And then I decided to start a new project to be the Advent numbers. So this is a Stitcherovia chart, and this is the part that's still a WIP. So this is Stitcherovia's retro Advent baubles. This is what it looks like when you get it off of Etsy. It has like them all like that. But what I've been doing is I'm stitching them on perforated paper, white perforated paper, and then cutting them out and gluing them onto the drawers. And so I think the colors of them really tie in with the background part and the Christmas Morning Goodies and everything. So it's a very like brightly colored kind of Christmassy piece. The colors are a bit crazy, but I like it. So, you know, hopefully it's fine. So I've done 1 through 9 and then 11 and 13. I've gone out of order because some of them use very similar colors, and so I would stitch them at the same time and then just cut them out and hot glued them on as I went. So this one is still a WIP because I need to do the rest of the blocks before Christmas this year. So my goal for Retro Advent Baubles is to finish it so that the whole Advent calendar is finished. And for the lights, I also painted the back, but then for the lights, I drilled a little hole and then fed through the lights like this. So the switch is on the back and then it lights up in the front so that it goes with like my Christmas lights or whatever. So that's this one. It is both an FFO and a WIP, but it looks really fun in person and it looked really nice in our Christmas decor this year. I think this is a Craft Cotton Company. This one is that a fat quarter that I got from a random sewing shop. I don't know what the fabric is for that. But yeah, that's this one. And I did the Christmas Morning Goodies completely as called for, and I'm doing these completely as called for. So it's using a lot of the like 3,800 colors and a couple of the like 0 to 30 whatever, like the new colors as well. So a lot of the new DMC colors is what Emma has used for these. So yeah, so that's a mixture of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and Stitcherovia. I hope you guys like this one. This was kind of like a vision that I had, and I'm really hoping that it's going to work out. I think it is. But yeah, that's this one. Okay, so then the next one was my Thanksgiving Day start. And this one doesn't really have much progress on it, to be honest. I was pretty tired on Thanksgiving after cooking all the food and doing Thanksgiving and stuff. So I only did a little bit of a start. But this is Gobble Til You Wobble from Frosted Pumpkin. It's another one of the seasonal sayings. And I'm doing mine on 28 count Oaken Lugana from Picture This Plus. So this is the Lugana rather than the casual. And I've just done the top of the border. So I have basically all of it to do, but these go really quickly for me. These are like 2 to 3 days and it's a finish. So I'll finish this one before Thanksgiving this year in the fall sometime. And I think, or if it gets called before then, the called goal is a finish. So yeah, not a whole lot to show there, just that. But that one will be really cute to have on the table for Thanksgiving. I think I'll figure out some way to make it like something that gets displayed on the table. Because I don't have like loads of like Thanksgiving decor. I have just like general fall decor. So I think this one would be cool to like have on the table, you know? And I'm using all the called for threads for that, which is like a couple of Classic Colorworks and then DMC. So then the next one is another one of my We Need a Little Christmas Sal. So this one was December 6th, and this is HoHoHo by the Frosted Pumpkin. And I'm stitching this one on 36 count pewter from Picture This Plus, so it's smaller than the called for. This is what it'll look like. They have it as a hoop finish, which is I think how I'll finish it as well, because I think it looks really cute in a hoop. So I have HoHoHo and I have Rudolph, and then I've started on the holly at the bottom. And the green in this one, I don't know if you can tell, it is the Etoile. So it's like C500 maybe? Something like that. And I have the little Rudolph needle minder from Frosted Pumpkin, and a needle runs through it, which I got over Christmas. So that's that one. And the goal for this one for this year is a finish as well, because it's really small and I'm almost finished anyway. I just have to do like the border. So that one was a fun one to work on over the Christmas season. Let me check. I think it is C500. What does it say on here? Oh no, it's C890. Excuse me. The pumpkins have used 500 for like a dark green a lot of other times in their batters, so I was like thinking it was that. It is so fun to look at all your WIPs again. You're like, ooh, I love all my projects. Okay, the next one is Hello from Liz Matthews, 4th Day of Christmas. So this is one of the 12 Days of Christmas series that she's doing. I don't think I'm doing the whole series. I think I'll just do like individual ones as and when I like them and feel like it. And this one I just could not get over. I love the design of this one. This is what it looks like. And Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did this one, and I was just obsessed with it, and so I wanted to work on it. So this one I'm doing it on 32 count Cream and Sugar from Fiber on a Whim. So it's this cool like variegated kind of cream color, and this is how far I've got. So I have the bird, and then I have two of the little music notes. So it'll be, you know, I'm doing the tree version, not the sampler version, because I like the idea of swapping this out for where the Mayflowers tree is during Christmas. And this one, my goal for the year is 5 days. And I'm hoping that that would be a finish, or at least if not a finish, close enough to a finish that when I work on it during We Need a Little Christmas time, I'll have it finished then. So I just love the colors on this one. I love this little bird. It's just such a fun one. I love this design from Liz. And I worked on that one I hadn't even started it at Christmas and I got that far. So that's, you know, I was really chucking along with that bird. I was like, this bird is so cute. Also, the back of it looks really fun from like how the white and the blue carried within each other. Anyway. We're getting to the end of 2021. Let's see, what's next? Oh, I made a mistake. This one should have come before the last, like, 3. This is Nutcracker Parade from Frosted Pumpkin. I started this one on November 9th. So this was, like, a month before the one I just showed you. But I got them out of order. But it doesn't matter because it was still within the We Need a Little Christmas Sal time. So this one was a stitch along that they did. It looks like this. And it's like a little sign that's the Nutcracker Parade. They're doing a parade one right now for Little Red Riding Hood, which is also really cute. I'm doing mine on 28 count Sprite, which I think is the called for. And this is where I'm at. So basically the Mouse King and this left part of the border and this little Nutcracker part. So my goal for this one is to do the Sugar Plum float, which is the next float, and then kind of fill out the border so that it gets to be like I've done half, or like 2/3 of it. And then I'll finish the last float with Clara and the Nutcracker when it gets to Christmas time. And I want to finish this one as a little like sign as well. And you can see this blue is Granny Annie. It's like a variegated blue purple. Maybe when I start the N, I'll start with like the lighter blue at the top so that it looks more like a blend. Because right now it looks like I'm just doing the light blue at the bottom of all of them, which looks kind of weird. So I might change that when I start it again. But yeah, so I just have the bottom of this float to finish because he's supposed to be inside of a crown. So the bottom is like, you know, like those crowns that have like the white and black fur at the bottom. That's what this is supposed to be. So right now it's just the white, but you can see in those little gaps. Oh my god. Everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. Okay, so right there, you can see those little gaps. That's where the black part goes. And then I need to do the little tires on it. And then there's like a bit of a road underneath, and I'll carry the road across to where the Sugar Plum fairy is. And I'll probably do Nutcracker, I would think, the word. And this is the Robin needle minder from Hello Dear. I really, really like this chart. I've been wanting to do this chart for 100 years, so it's really cool to have it as a WIP now. And hopefully, you know, by Christmas time, that'll be a finish as well, and that one can get hung up. Okie dokie, what is next? Okay, so now we're going into 2021. 2022. We've done 2021 for the last hour. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is 2022, and the first one is How Does Your Garden Grow, Sal, from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This one is a currently active stitch along using the kit that Sally and the team very kindly gave to me. And so this is what the parts that have been released so far are. So we have parts 1 and 2. And I am behind, but that's fine. I'm still participating. I'm doing it on the called for fabric that came with the kit. I chose the 32 count even weave option. And I have done the mushrooms. And I'm working on the watering can. So I've done the water, and I'm like coming down the spout of the watering can, basically. And here's the little needle minder, Norman the gnome. Very cute. So that's how far I've gotten on this one. And I think once I finish the watering can, I'll like work up and do the tomatoes, and then maybe come around this corner and end with the pumpkins, even though the pumpkins were in part 1. That's my current thought. Just for like finishing out this top corner and stuff. Because there's like Norman and there's like the sun. So that's that one. Making progress on that one. This is a 6-month SAL, so it'll end in like May, June, I think. Fun spring stitching. And I have that one in this bag that I made that has this Craft Cotton Company like botanical leaves in it because it had like garden vibes to me. So that's that one. We only have one more. Can you believe it? We're finally at the end. So this is the last one, and I started this one on Valentine's Day this year. So this was a little Valentine's Day start, and it is Hugs and Kisses from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Allie Stitches just finished this one. It looks like this. It's this cute little like Valentine's pattern, and I started it basically at the same time as I Love You A Latte. So I have the outside red border, and I'm working on the inner pink border, and then I'll start working on the inside. And this is on 28 count Picture This Plus Crystal Bashful, which is the called for, I think, and you can see the crystal there, but it's like a very light kind of sparkly pink. I don't know why I left so much at the bottom here. Like I could have yeah, I don't know why this bottom part has so much more fabric than the top. Because it's not like I left myself like bad margins for how I tend to finish these. So I don't really know why there's just like this big extra part here, but whatever. It's fine. So that one will come out again closer to next Valentine's Day. It's not on WIP Go because I hadn't started it when I made my WIP Go board. But yeah, so that's like a little seasonal one, and I'll finish it at some point. when I feel like it, when it's closer to next year. So that is all of my cross stitch whips. Can you believe it? We made it. Oh man, so fun going through all my projects again. I hope you guys like that. Let me know in the comments if there's any of, like, if you have been enabled by me to buy anything during this video. If there's anything where you're like, well, I'm starting that, let me know, because it's just so cool to like think about how this community inspires each other to stitch things all the time. So now, quickly, let's do my knitting whips and then my crochet whip. So I have one knitting finish, and then I have 3 knitting whips and 1 crochet whip. So my knitting finish is that I finished my very first pair of socks. So I finished these over Christmas. We were watching Shetland on BritBox, and I just knit these basically while we watched Shetland. So this is using Osterman Step yarn in the color 324 maybe, and I learned quite a few things with these. So these are the vanilla socks on Magic Loop from Crazy Sock Lady, and I made a couple of variations to the pattern. The first one being that I did only like 10 rounds of rib, I think, instead of 20. And instead of making the legs 60 or something rounds, I did like 20 or 30. Just because I like shorter socks. So I wanted to make them a little bit shorter. Everything else I did exactly as the pattern suggests. I think, though, I've learned a couple of things. So for one, this sock was the sock I did knitting English style. This was the first sock. And I did this one with a 1x1 ribbing. So for the second sock, I thought, well, these are my first ever socks. They're not going to be perfect anyway. So let's try if I like 2x2 ribbing on a sock better. The answer is yes, I do. See if you can see that. So this is the 2x2 rib version. And then the other thing is I tried learning continental on this one, which went really well for the knitting part. But when I did the purling on the heel, I didn't quite understand how to correctly continental purl. So these are twisted. Whereas if you look at the one that I knit English style, you can actually like see the ribbing, and you can't really see it on this slip stitch heel. So I learned how to correctly continental purl after I made this part. So that's good. And also you can't really tell because it's on the heel. So like you're never going to be looking at that part anyway. But it was just, you know, a learning experience. And the other thing I learned is that these socks are a little bit too big. I think for one, I knit them on too big of needles. So I knit these on 3 millimeter needles, maybe even 3.5. I don't know. They're quite big. So they're like a bit baggy, if you can see that. And they want to like slide down. And I also knit them at like the medium size when I think I actually should have done the small size for them to not like slip down so much. It's not like horrible because they're like, I'm gonna just wear them around the house and stuff. But for my next pair, which I have cast on, I have changed things up a bit. So you can see this here. It's like kind of like, it's just a little baggy. But this is, you know, how you're learning how to measure your foot and everything. This part, the length of them is perfect, actually. This part is fine. It's the right length for my foot. It's just around the ankle and stuff where it's too big. So for my new pair that I've cast on, which this is out of order, but I'll just show you it now. For my new pair that I cast on, I am instead using much smaller needles. So these are a 2.25 millimeter needle. I'm actually also doing the Crazy Sock Lady 9-inch circulars one on this needle. I mean, on this sock. So I've cast on with 9-inch circulars because I thought, well, if I'm learning how to do new stuff, let's just like learn how to do a lot of new stuff. And I've cast on with the small version this time, so I have less stitches on the needle. And so far I've gotten through the rib section and I'm about to start on the leg. And I am going to do the same thing that I did last time with the shorter rib and shorter leg, because that's not the part of the sock that was the problem. It's that it was too big. But you can already see how much tighter this weave is on this sock than on the other one. And I feel like it's going to fit better. I'm like hoping. And I'm doing this one on this striping sock, like self-striping yarn that I got from Sew Knit Craft here in Cambridge. I have lost the label for it, so no idea what this is. I will try to Google and see what it is, so I'll put it, you know, on the screen and I'll try to link it. But it has like, let's see if you can see this. There you go. So you can see the ply is like twisted with this white thread in addition to the colored thread, and it's really, really like elasticy and like stretchy. So I thought that that would be a good one to try to see if I could make it fit me a bit better than the other one. So that's that. I've just cast on the first of the 2 socks. I haven't been knitting on this one that much because I've been knitting on knitting a lot on another project, which I'll show you now. Or well, no, let me show you this old one first and then I'll show you it. So this is my oldest knitting project. This is a blanket kit that I got from Wool and the Gang. This is the Good Times blanket. And this is what it'll look like. It's just like a color blocked blanket. And this is how far I am. And this is using their Shiny Happy Cotton in Jog Gray, Cameo Rose, and White Noise. So I had made some kind of mistake somewhere, so I had to like frog a bit. I don't know how I made a mistake. It's like garter stitch, but I think I slipped one when I wasn't supposed to or something like that. I mean, this was my first thing I ever did, so it was bound to happen. So anyway, when I picked it up back up again recently, I saw the mistake, and so I ripped back, and then now I've gotten back up basically to where I was before. So I'm working in the white right now, and then I will switch to the gray again and do a repeat. So it'll be gray, pink, white, and then it'll be over. It'll be over. I mean, it'll be finished. It's not like torture. It'll be over. No, like, I don't know why I said that way. But this is in Shiny Happy Cotton. It's super soft. This is what the ball form looks like. Really nice quality. And I got this on a super sale when they were doing a sale on the kits on their website. So I would highly recommend, if you were interested in trying Wool and the Gang wool or cotton or anything like that, but it's just like a little bit too expensive to use to kit up a project, see if you can get it in one of their kits on sale or in one of their bundles, because you can get some good savings. So that's that one. And I tend to knit on that one in like meetings or things, just because it's garter stitch back and forth, back and forth. So then I have 2 more knitting projects. I actually brought up an extra ball of the Shiny Happy Cotton just so you could see it with the label. So this is the Cameo Rose color. There you go. So this is it in the ball form. This is the Shiny Happy Cotton and Cameo Rose. So that's the stitch suggestion. And this is 100 grams. And it's basically like a ball per section. So you get 6 balls with the kit. So then the next one is the one that is my like passion project of the minute, which is the Greystoke cardigan from Lily Kate Makes. I'll put a picture of it here. I've talked about this before on my channel about how I hoped one day I would be good enough at knitting that I could knit this. And I saw in one of her podcast episodes, she was talking about that it's like that her patterns are things that adventurous beginners could do, or like motivated beginners. And I was like, well, let's just learn new things. So I decided to start mine. So I kitted it up with, so this is Big Twist Glisten. Come on, there we go. So it is 78% acrylic, 15% mohair, 7% metallic. And so it's like a light pink metallic. And it, because of the mohair content, which is not like insubstantial, it is really fuzzy and quite soft. And this is the thing. Because what she suggested with choosing yarn for the project is that because it has the puff sleeves, you really need to have a yarn that can hold the puff. And so she recommended something with like a mohair that will have that kind of fluff up to it. And if you use something more like a cotton or something, it will drape instead of puff. And it's knit with a sport weight yarn at DK gauge, so it also is supposed to be quite airy. And so I wanted to make sure that I found something that was like super that had that kind of fuzzy airiness to it. Obviously in the future, as I like get better with knitting and stuff, I'll invest in not having, or well, I'm sure more often I will invest in yarns that don't have an acrylic percentage. But for this project, since it's like my first sweater or cardigan or anything, I just decided to go like the more affordable route the first time, and then in the future, you know, I can get fancier with my yarns, just like I did with my stitching, my cross stitching. But anyway, this one does have a percentage of natural fiber, so I'm happy with it. And I love the sparkle because it really adds something interesting to the yarn. So this is what it looks like there. And this is how far I have gotten. So this is going to be really hard to show without it like curling up. So basically I have finished the entire body of the cardigan. And I have cast on this sleeve and am working on the poof, which is worked through German short rows. Sorry, the needles are like that. I stopped mid-row last night. So, but yeah, so this is basically working German short rows to get this poof. And then it'll poof out like this, and then there'll be a big poof that comes into a pleated cuff down here. And we have around the edging is just a simple garter stitch kind of border. And it has like a square kind of boat neck to it. It's hard to see because it's curling up because I'm not wearing it. There you go. So it looks like that. And the bottom keeps curling up, but it also is a garter stitch edging. I'm hoping that the curling will fix during blocking because she did the same length of an edging and hers doesn't curl up, so I'm hoping it'll be fine. We shall see. I'm praying. The other part, like when I wear it, because I've tried it on quite a few times, and this part doesn't curl when I'm wearing it. So for like the front part. So that's that. And so it's worked seamlessly, so it's just been a lot of like picking up stitches. Here's the other armhole. And I'm just really proud of myself that I've like managed to make this. So much stocking stitch. So much stocking stitch. And like all of the, you know, techniques that I learned, like casting on in the middle of a round and like, you know, German short rows and like all kinds of stuff. So this has been really fun. And it is really fuzzy, if you can see the fuzz. So yeah, so that's this. This is my big project. And I think when I finish it, I'll cast on another one of her sweaters because I just love every single thing that she designs. And yeah, that's my big project. Hopefully next time I'll be able to like try it on and I'll have like one of this sleeve done and I'll be on the second sleeve. We'll see. Hopefully the sleeves will go a bit faster because I can work in the round now, whereas working the body in stocking stitch took forever because it was like knit a row, purl a row, and purling, I'm way slower at continental purling than I am at continental knitting. So being able to just like knit and watch the sleeve go like will be very cool. Compared to working the body and like every 3 seconds I would like measure it and I'd be like, it's not going that fast. But you know, that's how sweaters are. So that's that one. And then the last one that I have, a baby blanket that I am making for our friends who are due in March. I don't know if I'll have it finished for like right when the baby is born, but I will have it finished quite soon into the baby's birth, I think. And so I stopped this one in the middle of the row, so like it's not curled up. It's supposed to be straight. So this is a cable blanket, cable baby blanket. It's called like the Coral Bells blanket. I'll put a picture of what the pattern looked like here, and I'll link it down below. Obviously, I got it off of Lovecrafts. It was a free pattern, and I'm using 3 different colors for it. I'm learning how to do cables with this blanket, basically. There we go. So I've done the cable round twice now. So we have two twists. The first twist, and then here's the second twist. And it's so soft. This is Rico Baby Dream DK. And I'm using the colors. So this one is 15, which is like a light lavendery kind of purple. And then I'm also using this one, which is number 16, which is like a dark sea foamy kind of a green. And then I'm using this one, which is like a variegated self-striping one in number 11. And this mixes in the purple and the green and the blue and stuff. And some of like a tanny kind of gray. They're not finding out the gender of the baby, and I didn't want to knit like something gendered for them. So I decided to go with this because I thought it was just like beautiful regardless and very non-gender specific. And I am really happy with how the colors are knitting up together. I think it's looking really nice. So I think once I finish the way that I'm doing it, because it doesn't say in the pattern like how much to do in each color and stuff. So I've just been kind of doing it by like, once I've finished another one of the cable kind of sections, then I'm switching colors. So once I finish, I think I need to do like 7 more repeats or something of this, and then I'll switch color again and I'll pull in the dark green and just kind of like work it in stripes like that. The bottom row is shorter than the other rows because that was where I like passed on and stuff. But it's going to be 32 inches when it's finished. So, and I think I'm probably at like 4 inches now, 3 or 4 inches. So I just need to like spend some good time on it and that should be finished. It doesn't take that long to knit it. Also, it's so soft, it's like nice to touch it compared to like some other things like feel more scratchy when you're knitting them. That one is just like knitting like butter. Okay, so then the last thing is that in the last like month, I learned how to crochet because my friend Sarah in real life has really gotten into crochet over the last like 2 to 3 months, and watching her crochet all the time made me want to learn how to do it. And I've been saying I wanted to do it forever because of like Frizzy Lizzy Stitches showing all of her crochet patterns and stuff that she works on, and I've always just been like, oh, I wish I knew how to do that. And then with Sarah having like my real life motivation to do it as well, I was like, well, fine, I'll do it. So I watched some YouTube tutorials and I learned how to crochet, and then I asked Sarah if I was doing it right in person, and she said yes. So I have cast on my first project, which is a blanket, a granny square blanket called the Collecting Dust blanket. I'll put a picture of what it looks like here. And basically it's like a flower granny square pattern, because some of them are like more square, when this one starts as a circular flower that then turns square in the later rounds. And I have already finished, there's like basically half of the blanket is in colored granny squares that change color every round, and then the other half of the blanket is like in a plain white kind of a color. So I am doing the colored ones first, or at least that's how I've started it anyway. And so I finished one of them. So this is the one that I finished. And I'll tell you about the yarns I'm using in a minute. And then I have cast on the second one. And so this is the colors that I'm working with right now. So I'm going to be switching them out all the time, like what colors I'm doing. But again, it's kind of going with these like bright, it's washing it out a bit. It's a lot brighter and like happier looking in person. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like it. Now you can see more of like the peachy pink of the outer side color. And the yarn that I'm using for this, sorry, is Paint Box Yarns Cotton Aran. It's 100% cotton. And I am using it in the colors. I have brought all of the yarn up here. They had like a huge sale on Paint Box where I had to buy so much yarn for this blanket. This is going to be like a couch blanket for us. So the white color that I'm using is, and also they're only 50 grams gain, so you just had to get a lot of them. So the white color that I'm using is color number 603, which is a light champagne. You can see that. It's more of like an off-white. You can kind of see the difference between it and the label there. So that's my white color. And then of the colors, I am using the color 654 Blush Pink. I'm using the color 620 Blood Orange. I am using 655 Peach Orange. 624 Mustard Yellow. It's a bit more goldeny in real life, like a bit more orangey. Maybe that's better. It's just wanting to wash out a bit. It's probably a bit more like that. And then this one in 656 Vintage Pink. And then last, but certainly not least, in number 617 Melon Sorbet. So this one is more of like a orangey yellow. Yeah, it's a bit more orangey. So it'll end up being like a really like fun, warm, happy toned blanket when it's finished. And it's really soft. And I will be happy to have it on the couch. In addition with my knitted blanket for the couch. And they do go together, as you can see. So those will be our new like me-made couch blankets whenever I finish them. And I need to do 50 squares each of the white and the colored squares. And then there's like the border, which is in the colored squares, and it goes like round and round. So yeah, so that is all of my WIPs. I don't have any like quilting WIPs going on at the minute, or any sewing WIPs or anything. I was going to work on those project bags before Christmas, but then I never really got around to it. So those are still in future plans. So what is left to talk about is my haul. All right, y'all, I am back. Hope you enjoyed that blast from the past of yesterday. And now let's run through my haul. So there is a lot of haul in this video, way more than I usually have, because number one, I've been gone for like 3.5 months, and number two, Christmas happened during the 3.5 months, and basically what I asked everyone for was Stitchy money, so I have a lot of haul. So bear with me as I try to run through all of this. The first thing that I will shout out is some Stitchy kindness that I received. I received some very nice Stitchy kindness from our Flosstube friends, Pam and Steph, and Megan Georgia Girl Stitching, in the form of Christmas cards, which was just so sweet and means the world to me. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry that we didn't get cards out this year, but hopefully next year I will be better on my game with Christmas stuff and I'll be able to get that out. The other thing that I have in terms of Stitchy kindness is that I participated in Elizabeth Ann Stitch's Christmas Smalls Exchange. Hey y'all, I actually had recorded a little reveal of this back in November just before the exchange, so I'm actually just gonna insert that here. Past Evelyn here. I feel like a bit like past Beth, you know, Beth Chadwick. I love when she does that. So I just wanted to quickly share my FFO for the Christmas Smalls Exchange that I'm doing with some of our other Flosstubers. So I got Jennifer, the Whistle Stop Stitcher, and so I stitched for her You Know Dasher by Helen D, which was featured in the Just Cross Stitch Christmas specials this year. And I have finished it into a little hanging sled. I'm so proud of this. I think it's really cute. So I stitched this on 36 count pewter from Picture This Plus. And as you can see, it says Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. And then the nose, I used Light Effects, I think 816 or 817. And then around the edge, I used some green rickrack and then some baker's twine in the red and white. And then on the bottom, I put a little charm for 2021 and some jingle bells. Oh, focus. It wants to focus on my face under there, unfortunately. Come on. Oh, well, you get the idea. And then on the top, I used a red organza ribbon, and I used a red ribbon for the hanger. So I thought it was a cute idea because it was the reindeer to like have the sleigh that they were pulling. And this sleigh that I got, actually, I got off of Amazon, and it is a sleigh for the Elves Behavin' Badly toys, which I guess is like a knockoff of Elf on the Shelf. But anyway, so the elf is supposed to be able to like sit on the sleigh like that, and it had this like twine plastic handle, which I cut off and replaced with the ribbon because I thought it was prettier. But yeah, this was relatively inexpensive. Maybe like six pounds or something, and it's really nice quality. And so I just used that for the finishing because I wanted it to be red, because Jen said she likes, you know, traditional like red and green kind of Christmas decor. So that's what I went with. So yeah, there's another shot. And I used 3865, which was the called for. And it jingles. Eek. I hope she likes it. I really hope she likes it. So yeah, anyway, that was my small. And I was sent this amazing design from Tiny Modernist, stitched by Julie, Kansas City girl in the Colorado world, and she sent along quite a few goodies with it. So I'll show those. So we have these Rollin' With My Nomies socks, which is just very cute. She also sent me some floss. So we have Golden Ale from Color and Cotton, we have Mistletoe from Color and Cotton, and we also have Bing Cherry, which I'm using in the Hugs and Kisses chart because I swapped the fancy flosses in that one to Color and Cotton. I should have said that when I talked about it yesterday, but I forgot. So yeah, I swapped those to Color and Cotton because I've been getting the Floss Club and I have more Color and Cotton floss now. So Julie sent me that. She also sent over some quilt patterns from It's So Emma. So we have this one, which is called Festive. We also have Plaid Farmhouse, which is like a pinwheel kind of a quilt. We have On a Winter's Day. And last but not least, we have Embark, which kind of has like a flying geese kind of pattern on it. So these would be really cool to use for one of the next quilts that I want to make. I do want to make us like a everyday kind of quilt to have on our couch. Right now, the only quilt we have is the Christmas quilt that I made, which I'm still very proud of that quilt, but it only comes out at Christmas at the time being. So, because it's like very festive. So one of these would be amazing. So thank you so much to Julie for that. I also wanted to say thank you to Kristen. You know who you are. You sent me a very lovely note, and I just wanted to say thank you. And let's move into charts and things and stitchy kindness for my grandmama. So my grandmama for Christmas this year gave me some of her old charts that she's finished stitching, and so I wanted to share those next. So I got from my grandmama Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. This is her favorite designer. I love the colors in this one. She also passed along Quaker Diamonds by Rosewood Manor, and this is a little note saying how this is her favorite designer. So also isn't my grandmama's handwriting so like beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, so this is Quaker Diamonds. I really like this one. I love the font. And then she also sent along Astrid by Carolyn Manning Designs. This is another one of her favorite designers, which I know a lot of you guys love too. And the last one is what was part originally of a Bothy Threads kit by called Season in Time by Moira Blackburn, and it says like to everything there's a season. It's just really colorful, kind of a sampler. And her finish of this, my grandmama's finish, is beautiful. And then last but not least, she gave me this Colonial Pinball cross-stitch kit from Colonial Williamsburg that makes up this little like pinball pouch, which is really cute. And I believe it does come with the finishing stuff here in here. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think it does. So that would be a cool little historical stitch to do at some point. So yeah, so those were thanks to my grandmama. And she also gave to me, which I'll just talk about now while I'm at it, the DMC Floss, like the full sets of all of the new colors, like 0 through 35, which I have already put in my stash, and all of the Etoile colors. She had these in her like cross-stitch closet and was basically like, I could just buy these again, so do you want them? And I was like, yes, please. So I now have all of the Etoile colors and all of the new colors, thanks to my grandmama. Thank you, Grandmama. I love you. You are the literal best. My grandmama is the one that taught me how to stitch, if you remember from my very first Flosstube video, where I showed one of the projects she made for me. And yeah, she taught me how to stitch, and it was very cool to have her send me little stitchy kindness over Christmas. So thank you, Grandmama. I love you. I also received this from my stepmom, Beginner's Weaving Loom Kit, where you learn how to like weave on this tiny little loom. Just because I jokingly said to her, I do every craft, and she said, oh really, do you weave? And then she got me this so that now I will also weave. So yeah, this is from Indigo Quail. I haven't started it yet, and I don't know if I'll do like the rainbow pattern. I might see if I can like do another little pattern with it. I don't know. I don't know what I'll use it for, but it's very cute, and I thought it would be fun to try because I've seen a lot of people do like textile wall art, which I think is really cool. So yeah, this would be a fun thing to try at some point. So thank you, Veronica. All right, next up, let's do some things that I purchased. Oh wait, no, we have one more Stitchy Kindness. I forgot. I won a giveaway off Elizabeth Ann Stitch's channel for After the Rain by Hello from Liz Matthews, which was just, I cannot believe I won this, but it was very cool. And I think when I stitch this, I'm gonna do like 3 of them in a vertical and do them in sort of the colors that we have in our bedroom and kind of hang it up on the wall in our bedroom, because there's this one empty spot that could really use something vertical. So yeah, so this is now in my stash. I will do this at some point. Maybe this year, because I don't think it would take me too long to stitch 3 of them. I really don't think that would take that long. So yeah, maybe this year. At some point, I bought a couple of little wood finishing things. I can't remember if I showed these in my last floss tube or not, but I still have them here in the haul box that I keep them in. So I'll just show you them here. So first up, we have this little mini easel. I got these from an art store here in Cambridge called Tyndall's. I think I must have talked about these, but I have this little mini easel and also this little wooden box like this. The one that I definitely know I haven't shown you before is this little wooden sign, which is like a Christmas light. And I thought this would be really cute to finish a little Christmas small on at some point and like hang it up like a wall sign. And I'll paint it and everything. So this will be something for a little small for this next year, which I think will be really cute. And it was very cheap, and I said add to cart. And now let's do some other stuff that I got. So I picked up these Loran tail end weavers, or like thread weavers, tail tuckers, whatever you want to call it. And I will say, I like these, except for they are a little too thick to run under the backs of your stitches. Whereas other tail tuckers that I've used in the past have definitely been thin enough to run under the stitches, but then they have sliced my thread in half when I like pull them through. So, and this one doesn't do the slicing, but it doesn't really fit under the stitches that well. So if anyone has their perfect tail tucker that does not rip their thread, but also fits under their stitches, will you let me know in the comments? Because sometimes, you know, and this is for like when you have that, you've played thread chicken a little too hard and like all that's left is like this tiny thing and you can't really thread the needle to get it under the stitches. That's what these are for. It just slides through and then grabs to the tail and pulls it through for you. And so I really want to have one of these, but I just haven't found the like perfect formula as of yet. So if you know the perfect formula, please let me know. I have 2 more charts that I've gotten, I believe. Yeah, 2 more charts. So I finally got for Christmas Let's Talk Stitching from Hands On Designs. I would love to start this one this year. It's just so cute, and like all the cross stitch things. Look at the frog. The frog. I just absolutely love this chart. Can't wait to stitch this. And I definitely will be doing it on like the chalkboard kind of fabric. And eventually, when I one day have a sewing room and a craft room, this will be a crucial piece of the decor. I also bought, for our wedding, I had this vision to do for the guest book, basically to do our wedding sampler and then have like a big border around it where the guests could sign for the guest book, and then on the inside is our wedding sampler, and then it would be like a wall art piece. So for the sampler, I've decided to use this one off of Etsy. Because it's like the perfect kind of autumn design. I will be changing the navy a bit to more of like a mustardy kind of tone color to go more with the autumn colors that we picked for our wedding. And I also am going to change the font to more of like a calligraphy kind of a font. But so I'm going to stitch that at some point this year. And then in addition to that, the other thing that I want to stitch for our wedding is a present for Nico for the day that we get married. And so I want to stitch him Built on Love from Silver Creek Samplers. And it says, and so together they built a life they loved. And I just really like this sentiment. And I'll put our little details right here. And I think I'll probably change the colors a little bit just to make it a little brighter. I know this is brown because it's supposed to be like a branch, but I might change it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But this I will stitch for Nico for our wedding. And then we'll hang it up probably in this hallway out here. And yeah, so that's, I've bought that so that, you know, I will have it for whenever I want to start it. I also think I will be incorporating some other things I've stitched into our decor. Like I'll kind of go off of what Morgan Honeybee Stitcher did and pull down my Loved by You by Hello from Ms. Matthews and have that on one of our tables. Sorry to copy your idea, Morgan, but it's just beautiful. And yeah, you know, we'll see if I do anything else, but those are the things that I've already thought about doing. What is next? What is next? Okay. So now we have some finishing kind of materials. So I bought some Lady That Creates Velveteen for the first time after hearing about this all the time on Mom Loves You GB's channel. So this is the color Shallot. It's like a peachy kind of orangey pink. And I thought this would be really cute on some pillow finishes and stuff. I also got a load of palm trims in different colors. I'm not going to take these out of the bags just for like my personal sanity, but I will try to avoid too much glare. So the first one is Brick House, which I used on the Winter Wonderland pillow. The next one is Union, which is like a dark blue. Then we have Ballerina, which is a very light kind of pink. We have Carribe or Caribe, which is like a tealy blue. And I think I might use this for finishing Hello Sunshine. And then I have Creamsicle, which is basically Creamsicle Orange. It's a little bit peachier in person than it's showing up on camera. Then we have Grape Fizz, which is a very good grape purple kind of color. And then we have Witchy, which I have bought before, but I just love this green color. So I wanted to restash this one. And then last but not least is Motherlode, which is like a yellowy gold kind of a color. It's a definitely goldy kind of a yellow, like a marigold maybe, that kind of a yellow. So these are for all of my little pom finishing needs. I will definitely get more over time, but I definitely wanted to stock up on some of these with my Christmas money. I think the rest of this stuff is fabric haul and my like monthly clubs from the last few months. So I will show all of the, let's do the threads first. So I will do my Color and Cotton thread clubs first, and then I'll just show all of the fabrics together and tell you whether they came from a thread club, a floss club or not. I mean, a fabric club or not, honestly. Listen to me. So the first one is the November 2021 thread club, which I think came right after I finished my last video. And these are the colors. There are these really pretty kind of rich fall tones. So it's more golden ale and papaya, Salem, rustic black, and juniper. I'm not going to take these out because I assume you've seen them all before on other people's channels, so I'll just try to like run through them relatively quickly. The December one were these kind of more rainbowy kind of colors, interestingly enough. So we have Tusk, Prussian Blue, Cloves, Red Fox, and Basil, or Sweet Basil, excuse me. And some of these that come in their thread clubs are existing colors that are like permanent colors in the collection, and some of them are special editions, and they do say on them whether it's a special edition or not. So you can see this Monkey Grass one right here is special edition. So this is the January 2022 club, and we have Monkey Grass, Quail, Blue Bonnet, Maple Syrup, and Poseidon. This is an interesting kind of like browny blue color palette for January. And then the one that just came for this month, the February 2022 ones, is these really cute Valentine's kind of colors. So we have Twinkle, Armor, Cupid, Cherry Fizz, and Parlor. I love these. There's definitely gotta be some kind of Valentine's small that I can stitch up with these. I love these. Can't wait to use these for something next year. Or, well, this year maybe as well, but they just scream Valentine's to me. And speaking of the February 2022 Color and Cotton Club, I will just first show you the fabric that came this month with my Color and Cotton Club. So this is Fox Run, and I get the 32 count Belfast fat quarter. So it's like a really good kind of a tanny brown neutral color. Really, really nice. I love how they give you a full fat quarter. You get so much fabric in this fabric club. And their customer service is just amazing. Because I was initially on the thread club before I joined the fabric club, and when I joined the fabric club, it was having me sign up for like 2 separate ship dates, and I would have to pay the international shipping twice. And I contacted their customer service and asked if they could combine the Floss and fabric club, and they fixed it within like 30 minutes, and it was perfect. So ideal. Ideal. All right, I have 2 more fabric clubs that are still in the bag, and then I have the ones that I've already put into my storage. So we'll do these 2 first, and then I'll show the storage ones. So these are both Chromatic Alchemy Fabric of the Months, which is a dyer here in the UK. And this first one is Bryophyte, maybe Bryophyte, which is a cool kind of gray teal sort of color, like a light gray tealy kind of color. It's a little more gray in person than it's pulling on camera. Yeah, a bit more like that probably. So that one's really nice. And for this one, I get 32 count Belfast in a fat 1/8. And then this one is Cirrus, which I believe is a permanent color in her collection. Her name is Samantha Sam. And this one is like more of a darker kind of blue color. And I definitely know that there'll be tons of stuff I want to use this for. Especially some frosted pumpkin patterns I can already envision, you know. Sorry, those ones are quite crinkly. The plastic that she uses is really crinkly. Okay, so now for the ones that are in my storage box. These are the ones that I had already organized. And I still have my fabric stored the way that I showed you, where I store it on the comic book boards that the Steel City Stitchers showed us in like a little tutorial video sometime last year. So like this. And so all of my new fabric, I have put a divider in. So, okay. So there's gonna be quite a bit. So first up, we have Crystal Bashful from Picture This Plus, which is what I'm doing Hugs and Kisses on. You can see the sparkle there. And this one I got from the Homemakery. We also have Crystal Ariel, which is what Hello Winter was on, which I got from Homemakery. We have another one of the Chromatic Alchemy Fabric of the Months. This one is Rye, R-A-I, and it's a much darker gray, like a black kind of a gray with some quite clear, spotty, bleachy modeling. And then I got a huge kind of Picture This Plus order. So we have Memory from Picture This Plus. This is 36 count. And it's like a really pretty kind of burnt purple. Maybe, is it showing up better? Yeah, more like that, like a burnt kind of purple. That's gonna be really fun to use on something. I also got more of Mint from Picture This Plus. Though last time that I got this color, it was a lot lighter. Yeah, you can see, here's my other dye lot of it. It's a bit lighter than the current one, but still love it, that kind of turquoisey color. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference in the dye lot there. But I just wanted to get some more of that. So I got some more of it. And the one that I had before is a 28 count, whereas this one is a 32 count. I also got some Glacier, which is more blue, whereas this one, as you can see, pulls more green. So this one is definitely more of a turquoisey blue, kind of oceany kind of color. I also got J from Picture This Plus, which is like a more purpley kind of a blue, like a periwinkle-y kind of blue. It's a more purpley sort of blue. Sorry, I'm running through these kind of quickly. And then I I think the rest of these are no longer Picture This Plus. Yeah, okay. So I got from Fiber on a Whim some 32 count Belfast in Pumpkin. It's a little less neon in person. Probably a bit more like that. But I really like this color, and I think it'll be cool to use in some fall pieces this year. Maybe even some Halloween pieces. It's a very Halloween-y kind of orange. And then I also got some soft apricot from Coloring Cotton because I just love this kind of like peachy orange pink color. This is one of my favorite colors just in life. So I definitely want to do something with this. And I also got some chalkboard from XDrew Designs. This is a 36 count Edinburgh, and I think I might try to stitch the hands-on designs Let's Talk Stitching on this. Maybe. We shall see. Maybe I'll kit that up for one of my starts for my WIP Go, if I get bingos. We shall see. But yeah, you can see there is some texturing in the black, which makes it a really nice kind of chalkboardy color. And the last three are my other Coloring Cotton fabrics of the month. So this one, let me go in order. Okay, so here is the November one. So this is Blue Moon. It's a really lovely kind of sky blue. This might be really beautiful to do Lindy Stitch's Stars Bright on. That's also in my future starts once I finish I Forget the Rest. So that's that one. And then I have the December one, which was Cobblestone. This is more of a like sandy kind of gray. Sandy gray tan kind of neutral color. And then the one for January was Cedar, which is this really nice kind of like rusty red brown kind of a color. Almost like a maroon, but more brown. I really like this color. This is going to be cool for some like fall pieces, I think. I'd love to do something fall on this. So that is all the fabric I got. I know it was a lot of fabric. And I think I've bought some like pumpkins PDFs and stuff because I'm buying pumpkins PDFs, but I don't remember what all they were. So you will see them whenever I start them in the future. Maybe one day I'll do like a video of every chart that I own or something and like run through them as like a Flosstube extra. Would people like that, to like see what I have in my PDF cross stitch folder? That would be kind of fun to do. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. Okay, so the final piece of haul that I have is kind of giant. And this was my big Christmas present from Nico, which was he bought me and let me set up this right here. These lovely boxes in this 4x1 calyx. And these are the Pip and Chip floss chips. So I have a new floss organization system, and it is the greatest thing ever to happen to me. So I will link this all down below, and this is like a little quick review, but these are the greatest thing ever to happen to me. So I'm sure you've seen on Instagram, because it's kind of gone a bit viral, to be honest, the screen printed bobbins that they make that have like the number and a swatch already printed on the plastic bobbins. And then they come in the full set. I'll put a picture here. Well, this company, which is a UK company run by a lovely woman, she has now come out, and I believe her family as well. I think it's like a family business. Well, they have just designed ones that are floss tags, essentially, which they are calling floss chips. And they look like this. And because I have basically fully converted to the floss tag system, I'd really been wanting these, and so for Christmas, this was my big present from Nico. So I will pull one of these boxes down and show you kind of what I'm talking about. So these are designed to fit inside the Tjena, T-J-E-N-A boxes from IKEA, or similar, something that's also in this size. So you can kind of get an idea of the size. And I got these ones from IKEA. I love this print, this like tan with the polka dots. And I have put my own little chalkboard labels on it. So this holds DMC colors 1 through 420. So I will open it up and you can see in here, any spaces you see are because I'm currently using it in a project. So how this works is I got the full set of 500, so all of the current DMC colors, including the new colors and the 3800 colors, and then some extra, they throw in a couple of Blanc, a couple of 310, and then a large number of blanks for if you have like multiple skeins of a certain color or something. Or it needs to be in multiple projects, because you can definitely fit more than one skein of floss on each of these tags. I have fit at least 4 or 5 skeins of a color on one of these tags comfortably. So don't worry about that they'll only fit one skein. That is not true. So you can see here is like how the printing works with all of the swatches. Is this not the most beautiful thing? And I also paid for, so in addition to the there's 2 different ways you can get this. You can get like a small set of numbers. You can also buy like a sample one so that you can see if you like the product. So definitely that is an option, like before you buy the full set. But anyway, you can buy the full set, just the 500 as they are, or you can buy the full set with the storage part, which is this gray thing with these little hooks on it that you pop into, and it's on a little wood base, and then it's like this gray foam, and then it has the slots in it that they slide into. And they fit directly over the top of the box. Yeah, like right over the lip of the box edge. And they don't obstruct you putting the lid on the box either, because that was one thing I was worried about. Like the lid fits perfectly on top of that still. So anyway, they fit in the top of the box, and then your floss just hangs down, which you can kind of see through there. So let me pull one out for an example. So I'll pull out 210. So this is what the chip looks like up close. So you have this big hole here for the skeins. So this is one skein on here, but as you can see, I could definitely fit like another 3 or 4 skeins on here. And you can see it has the number and the swatch there. This is for it to sit on a floss ring that you use in your project. And this is for like when you cut off a piece, but you still have enough left, you don't want to throw it away. That goes here. And I cut mine. I do a loop start now pretty much exclusively with my DMC. So I've cut mine to like a good 18 inches. And then you just put them here in order in your little box and you are good to go. And this is the literal greatest thing ever. And I love it so much. They're really nice to work with while you are stitching. Obviously, they can't like rip or anything because they are made of like a thick plastic. The only thing that you need to be aware of with this is that they are a little bit thicker, obviously, than like floss tags would be normally. So you need a little bit bigger of floss rings than you might normally have used, just because they take up more space. I'll show you an example. Okay, yeah, so with my Garden Grow Sal, I have transferred my floss onto the floss chips. And as you can see, they are kind of thick. So this is almost too small of a ring to like comfortably hold them. to flip between them to like pull the floss that you need. But this is kind of how it fits on. No, that's weird. Ignore me. So this is kind of how it fits on your ring in your project bag. The other thing is that they are kind of like tall. If you put it in your bag, the bags don't lie completely flat like they might if you were using floss tags, but that doesn't really bother me that much because the way I store my bags, I don't need them to be 100% flat. So the quality of these is perfection if the only issue is that you need a slightly thicker floss ring if you're going to have a project that has a lot of colors in it. I really think that that's ideal. And I love the storage. Like all of my DMC is in these boxes, perfectly clean. They're also not hanging out to get like dusty or to change color with the sunlight or whatever. And I like how like aesthetic it looks here in the office. And for the bobbin version, she also has the variations bobbins. She has ones for a toile, and she's going to be adding those as chips as well. So you can also get the chip versions of those. So I will be doing that to be able to put my toile on and some of the variations colors that I have. And so that is my huge like organization change in my life, because before I'd been using like a mix of 5 different organizational things. You know, like I had some things on bobbins, some things on floss tags, some things were in like floss away bags, and there was just too many different things. It was just too many things, and it would take me way too long to like kit up a project because I'd be cutting everything and, you know, all this stuff. And now I literally reach into a box and pull the skein out. It's ideal. It is ideal. And Nico watched me like set it all up and was like, this is gonna change your life, isn't it? I was like, yes, it is. So that is my big tip. My review of these are, they are the best thing ever. And that's really that on that, to be honest. I love them. And so I definitely would recommend checking them out. I will have their Instagram and their website linked down below. I do think that they've had a bereavement in the family in the last month. So they made a post on Instagram about how they're running a little behind on orders if you do order from them. But they normally have about a 3 to 4 week wait time anyway, because I think they 3D print all of these. So you wouldn't have gotten it that quickly anyway. So it's, you know, but just something to be aware of if you do want to order them. And I'm not sponsored or anything. I have no connection with this business. I'm just very, very impressed and pleased with their products. And, you know, we bought these with our own money, but yeah, I just love them. Oh my gosh, I think that is it. I think I have finally run through everything. So I just wanted to say thank you all for coming back to my channel. I'm sorry I was away so long. Hopefully I won't have to be away that long again. And thank you so much for sticking through all this video. Let me know down below what you've been working on, how much progress you made, what snacks and drinks you had. You know, just hang out. I love to hang out with you in the chat down below. I am gonna try to be better about answering comments. Sometimes they get away from me, but just know that if I ever heart your comment, that means I've seen it and I loved it, even if I don't get the full chance to respond. I hopefully will be back with another Flosstube update soon. If there's any other kind of like Flosstube extra content you'd like to see, you know, like running through all the PDFs I have or whatever, put that down below as well. I'd love to hear your suggestions for like other kind of shorter form videos I could do for this channel. That'd be really cool. And yeah, I will be back with another Flosstube update soon. My plans for March are to work on my WIP projects. So that's Quilted Bees and Lucky Nutcracker. Quilted Bees and Lucky Nutcracker. So that is what I will be working on as like my big projects for the month. I need to do 3,000 stitches on Quilted Bees, and I need to do the next part at least of Lucky Nutcracker. And then in addition, I want to do a couple of little like spring seasonal starts. One of them being the Hello Spring from the Frosted Pumpkin, and probably also the Spring Garden Club, which I think I showed you earlier. Hopefully I did in the earlier version of this video. And yeah, and just kind of look forward to some pulling out some other spring projects. I'll probably pull out Tulip House again, and stuff like that over the next few months. I'm not going to be doing March Madness this year just because of I'm working on my WIP Go, and trying to focus on that, but maybe next year, we shall see. And yeah, that's kind of my plans for March. So hopefully I'll see you back here at the end of the month next month. If you liked this video and you love WIP parades like me, please give this video a like down below. Comment anything that you want to comment, any questions you have, anything that you want to share with me. I love reading your comments and chatting with you guys. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Evelyn Across the Pond. I post little updates on what I'm doing in between, and I try to be, you know, relatively active over there and in my stories. So yeah, give me a follow if you want more of that kind of content. That's, you know, where I was updating people while I was gone. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing and you're a part of the Stitchy community on Instagram, then yeah, give me a follow over there to see what I've been working on in between videos. And if you like what you see here and you are new, I hope that you subscribe and stick around. And if you want to be notified when I post my next video, you can ring the bell next to the subscribe button, and that'll give you an update when I post next. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Love you so much. Thank you for sticking with me for a year on Flosstube, and for continuing to support me on this journey, and for being my Stitchy friends. And I will see you soon. Bye!